This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Good morning, everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Baruch Haba. We're continuing Mishna Berura, Daf Hashavua. We're learning Siman Lamed Gimel. We're middle of Sif Daled. Welcome, everybody. Excuse me, we're middle of Sif Hey. We're middle of Sif Daled. The Mechaber said, it is good to blacken the tefillin through a Jew lishman. It's good to. Says Rama, the diavad it's kosher, if a Eina Yehudi colored blacken the Arhabatim, but Retzuah is even b'diavad are pasal. Now, the way the Mishna Berura explained that is b'diavad, according to Mechaber, it's kosher even al yidei Eina Yehudi, because he holds that the Batim don't need lishman, and even the Retzuahs don't need lishman. And the Ramah disagrees, and he holds Retzuahs, where the blackening is halach l'Moshe Sinai, the blackening has to be lishman, and mamela al yidei any Yehudi who doesn't do lishman, it's pasal. We're up to Mishna Berura Sif Katan Chav Daled, but Retzuah, the Rama holds that if it was blackened, shaloi lishman are pasal. Kasav Hamagen Avram, dim chazar Yisrael v'hishchiran lishman kasher. Magen Avram has a big chiddush that if, let's say, after the guy blackens them, the Jew goes ahead and blackens them, it's going to be kosher. The Heavy Rayel is there. The Magen Avram brings a proof to this. Pri Megadim, B'Shari, Achroinim, Yisiga Arayasai. Pri Megadim and other Achroinim challenge the Raya. V'nishru b'din zeh b'tzarchiyan. V'nosan Pri Megadim l'zeh etza acheres. The Pri Megadim gives a different etza. How's that? Sheyashcher b'tzad hasheni shel Retzuah lishman. You should blacken the other side of the Retzuah lishman. Da'av shehushcharu mishnei tzdadim, even though it's blackened on both sides, kosher k'mavur b'sif gimel. We said in Sif Gimel that if you blacken on the other side, it's good. Let's review what we learned in Sif Gimel. Sif Gimel, it said the Retzuahs need to be black on the outside. Mitzad prim, you could do it whatever color you want. And then what you do is then you flip it around. Now that's not going to be so pashut because we learned that the tzad chalak, the smooth part by the hair of the animal, is supposed to be blackened. But I guess b'diavad this is an eitzah. This is all if you don't have other Retzuahs, Chumash b'yarnu, the Bir Halacha, as we explain in the Bir Halacha. Okay. Let's see Sefei. Im nifsika haretzuah. What if the strap snaps? Okay, that was on yesterday's picture, but you could imagine you're wearing the tefillin shel yad, and the strap snaps. Yesh matin litbar mitzad pnim. Some allow you to sew it on the interior. Let's see what this means. Let's see if I could bring this up here. A little dark today, but so here, nifsika haretzuah yesh matim litba mitzad pnim. Mitzad pnim would mean you're gonna sew it on the inside in a way where it's not recognized on the outside. Even if this is within the shear that encircles the head. Let's see the Mishna Berura Sif Katan Chav Hey Yesh Matirim Afilu b'toich Hashiur shemakev harosh v'hakibayras. Even if you're going to sew it within the shear that encircles the head and the bicep, lisbar, you're going to sew it davka tefira, davka to sew it. Aval kishira b'toich shir hanal. But to make a knot, what would that mean? Let's see. Let's say you're gonna tie it like you see over here. Instead of sewing, you're gonna tie. L'kuliyama pasal minat Torah. D'chsev ukshartam v'dosh chazal kesher tam. it has to be a complete knot. The strap that you tie the tefillin with, tehetama ushlema, has to be whole and full, but like sure, not knotted. The kesher, the Retzuah, has to be complete without knots in it. Gam hatviru hu davka begidin. The sewing has to be davka with sinews. V'loy b'chute, not with threads. The Dvar Shmuel says if the mavarta snaps, you could sew it back. Now, the Mechaber brought a yesh matir and litbar mitzad penem on the interior. Why? So that it's not recognizable on the outside at all. Certainly, if the place of the stitching is in the mavarta, it will be okay. Now here, let's see an example what this means. If you see, you can probably see very faintly, but over here it got snapped, and you want to stitch it, and then you snug it back into the mavarta, so it's completely covered. Now, to me, that's mashma, even if it snaps on the outside, and you're going to stitch it on the outside. But the reason why normally you can stitch on the outside is because then it's recognizable on the outside. But if you're sticking it in the mavarta, then it's not recognizable on the outside. Then you'd be allowed to stitch it even on the outside. In other words, there are two sides of Retzuah. This is the outer side. The lighter side color is the inner. So normally you're not to stitch it on the outside because it's recognizable to the looker. But if it's going to be snug into the mavarta, then it would be okay. That's what it seems like. Okay, let's continue in the Mechaber. V'yeshomrim. Some say, Masha makif mimena harosh, that which encircles the head, uv'shalyad, k'dei shetakif hazroya, or the shalyad in order to encircle the arm, likshar hatfila im hazroya, to tie the tefillah onto the arm, uk'dei shetimtach, and in order for it to reach ad edzba emsas, until the middle finger, v'yichroch mena aloysa edzba gimel krichos, and wrap it around that finger 3 wrappings, v'yikshar, and to tie it. Ein lahem takana. There's no way to fix. In other words, within, here, let's see. Now, there is a daya, in other words, that from that part which wraps around your head, namely this part of the Retzuah that wrap around your head, or what's wrapping around your bicep, and what's going to extend to the middle finger, and then to wrap it around 3 times, there's no way to fix those straps. Ein lahem takana. Lo b'kshira, you can't tie it. V'lo b'tfira, you can't sew it. V'chol yisrein ha'orech, and the rest of the wrapping, shehu, is in order to be able to wrap it many times around the arm. Uvishal roish, or on the head, mashatoli mimenu, what's hanging, ein hatir v'akshir poislamba. Then sewing and tying does not passel. In other words, this daya is more machal. The first daya holds you're allowed to sew on the inside. The second daya says no, not what goes around your head, not what goes around the bicep and stretches to the middle finger and what's needed to tie at least 3 times, but anything in excess of that, you could fix. Uv'shas hadchak yesh lismach al hamatirim, shas hadchak, you could rely on those who are lenient, kedei shlo yizvatel mitzvah tefillin, in order not to be mevatel the mitzvah of tefillin. We'll do a little bit more. Edzba, this goes until the middle finger. Ratzolemer shetimtach haretzuah. That is, the Retzuah stretches. The way we evaluate that is the Retzuah is going to stretch without doing any wrappings around the arm. V'loy krichas. That's the shear of the Retzuah shalyad. V'chanal b'siman chav zayin sibches. V'hatam dehekel b'shal roish ayin b'darkei Moshe. The reason why he's mekel in the shal roish, meaning why are we mekel in the shal roish? L'chayra, it's not enough the shear of Retzuah is not enough just to go around your head. You do need some Retzuah hanging down, at least somewhat. So for that, you have to look in the Darkei Moshe why we're willing to be lenient for the Shel Rosh. Okay, Rabbi, so we're going to hold it over here. I wish everybody a wonderful day. Thanks for joining. We'll see you tomorrow. Be'ezus Hashem, same time. Kol Tov. Have a good day, everyone.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.